ASMR, and today we will be ASMRing a breakdown because...
Mental breakdown, it seems.
Yeah, well, you know...
I'm so good at them, I just thought I might as well start doing them, but yes, it's me,
You might
Keith.
as well start giving me some too,
It's
not
me,
keep them all to
Keith.
yourself.
And you know, it's another series.
Easy.
This is another series that I'm gonna do for like 2 rounds, and then eventually give up, you know, for 2 games, and then eventually give up. But hey, we'll be doing my Trick House draft for 3 games until I get
me
bored.
like this. I will have you know, I'm like 4 weeks into my VBLS series.
This isn't me atting you. This is me atting myself. But
Who's also me.
yeah, we are the same person. Joined by me today is myself. Say hello, myself. Okay, he's not saying anything. It's Electric, by
Yourself,
the way.
you're talking right now.
It's Electric, by the way. He's with me.
I'm also joined.
Yeah.
You are not joined alone.
They've got my Trick House Season 5 draft, so that's exciting. Last season I think I did one of these, and then I didn't record any games, so you know, maybe I'll record at least one this time.
This is how you will win war.
Yeah, so I'll start with the big thing with this season, because Pokemon Legends Arceus is out, and you know, people are kind of desperate for change in the meta. We'll be using the new Pokemon and also giving Pokemon the moves that they don't have access to, so that they only got access to in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So
not the new moves, because
no,
the
because
Radical Red server is very stupid.
yeah, it implemented them very weirdly. Like you've got, you know, Typhlosion H's move, which is just Hex, but it can burn you, and they made it into Ghost type Psyshock for some reason. It's just a really weird, like, I don't know.
They made Splintered Storm Shards not even have a secondary effect.
Yeah. So
I thought it was very funny when the contrary Pokemon, Enamorus, had a signature move that gave it an Omni boost when it has contrary.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that'll be the new Pokemon, and there's the new moveset. So a big example is Mega Gardevoir. That's very good now because it got Aura Sphere, and it got Ice Beam, and it got Recover, which, you know, that's some stuff. And there are some other pretty important, you know, moveset additions, but,
Calm Mind Vaporeon.
Yeah, like, all the Eevees have Calm Mind. Heatran's got Ember. That's pretty big.
That was just massive.
And we've got a few other changes that we'll get to later. Oh,
is there anything else not
get
from your
excited.
team? Recover Cresselia.
Yeah, Recover Cresselia.
And Shaman.
Are you okay?
A bit coffee.
Marchamp has Mach Punch and Drain Punch now. There's a few changes, but let's move right along to my first pick. Last season I was number 1 with my Zamazenta. This season I was number 1, and I decided to be really original and pick this little used Pokemon called Dragapult.
Dragapult.
Now I'm gonna have to talk about.
Did you make playoffs last season?
Yes.
How did you do in playoffs?
I big brained, didn't bring Zamazenta and lost because of it.
Yeah.
Regardless.
You haven't gone on to the next thing, or does it always show as you being in the first one?
Yeah, you have to. Do you not know how slideshows work, sir?
No, I am. It just has the picture of your little thing on the first slide.
I am on the second slide. I'm looking at Dragapult.
So it doesn't show that you've gone on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've
so
gone on the
let's
second
talk
one.
about Dragapult.
No
one knows what Dragapult does.
You're forgetting the most important thing. You're forgetting the most important thing. For one thing, you forgot to say that you're coaching the Meganium Morons, which is very important. But you have to think about it. Okay, so my good friend, good is in quotation marks, Keith, came to me. He was like, "Look, please, sire, your highness, I need a piece of advice. I don't know what theme to name, nickname my Pokemon." And I'm like, okay, this is the optimal outcome.
Yeah, the nickname theme is Pokemon themes. Yes, Pokemon.
The Pokemon theme is Pokemon themes.
Yes. So, you know, you've got some amazing names like Lorekeeper Zinnia, the theme for the character Zinnia from Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And yeah, I drafted Dragapult, which is a Pokemon, I feel like it's a little underrated. Not that many people draft it. So it's got.
I've seen entire leagues where I haven't seen anyone take it.
Yeah, it's got
It's been mad.
It's got pretty good speed. Pretty good move pool. Pretty good everything. Yeah. I'm not gonna freaking humor you and have explain why I had Dragapult, but yeah, because I'm pick 1, that means I'm now on a wheel. So every single one of my picks.
Did you know that people
one after the
might
other.
watch this who aren't necessarily familiar with Gen 8 draft?
Okay, fine. Dragapult's like the best Pokemon in the format. It's stupid.
Very fast. It's got Ghost and Dragon Stab, which is only resisted by like Wigglytuff. It's got really good coverage.
Yeah.
It's got Dragon Darts, which is an 100% accurate 2-hit 50 base power Dragon type physical move, so it doesn't have to rely on Outrage or Dragon Claw. It's got Stab Hex, which is very strong.
It's got
the main thing it locks is a Stab physical Ghost move. Besides, is it Phantom or Shadow Force?
Phantom Force.
Phantom. Yeah.
It's got
access to Clear Body and Infiltrator, as well as a third ability that I don't remember.
Cursed Body.
Cursed Body. So Infiltrator, obviously, it's good against screens or sub, or Mimikyu's Disguise. Clear Body is great for not being affected by webs or opposing Intimidate, or also have you. As well as it means you can't be mirror armored by that Corviknight that you just Shadow Ball Spedef from. And also
Genius.
Curse Body, it allows you to just beat Pokemon who do like 60% to you with Sucker Punch, and then you don't KO them, but you Curse Body their Sucker Punch, so you win.
Yeah, no, it's just a good Pokemon, very good Pokemon. But everyone knows that. It's like the best Pokemon in the format, always pick 1, yada yada yada. So, but then at that point, that means, because of the first pick, that means, a lot of picks between my picks, but then I'll get 2 for my next one. And the pair I got was a pair that I was sort of looking at.
Pure synergy.
Yeah.
No, you were sort of looking at it. I told you to get it.
Shut up. But I was looking at
you were like, oh, should
before
I
round 1 ended.
3?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll go to the first Pokemon. So it was Gliscor, Relic, which is named Relic Castle. True fans of this channel will remember my one SBT season where I stopped uploading stuff around at the same time that I got bored of that season, where I used Gliscor as my round 1 pick, and I got this one in round 2, so, pretty
was
strong.
That round 1, Gliscor?
Yes, it was. I just wanted to use it. And, Gliscor's an okay mon.
Fans of this channel will know that it's very difficult to consistently be a fan of this channel.
Yeah.
I always forget what you keep changing your name to random things. Is it Keith Thudgo now?
Yes.
I was looking under Thud for Thudgo.
Speaking
of things you want me to do 3 of, WPF podcast.
It's coming back, don't worry.
Hey, you got 5 rounds in. No, that's not true. You did you got 5 rounds in WPF Festive.
Stop.
You got 2. You got 2 in to SPT.
Yeah.
Well, 5 is good.
Anyway, stop.
And then everything else is just power rankings until one where you only did round 1.
Yeah.
In WPF low tier.
Anyway, Gliscor's pretty cool. It's one of those Pokemon where, you get out of it as much as you put into it, I suppose, kind of like Nutrigrain. Wait, no, that's not what the Nutrigrain slogan is at all, it's the opposite. Anyway, I should have done breakfast cereals as a theme. Oh, that would have been
You can do
good.
breakfast cereals for your next draft, it's not like it's far away.
And then, it's just an okay Pokemon. I mean, it's oppressive, it's strong, and it does have a nice weakness and a water weakness. Granted, it can beat a lot of bulky waters if they can't afford to run Ice Beam, but it does have an ice and water weakness. So if I'm gonna have this, I should pair it with something.
You have to think. There are other important aspects at play here. Not only that, but it also resists both ground it's immune to ground, and it resists fighting.
Yes.
These are both very important aspects for what we're getting onto next.
Yes,
But
and it has
mentioned
both
that in
Defog and Rocks, but it doesn't want to run them often. So it wants a Pokemon that also has those moves.
Spikes in this format.
Oh yeah, it did. It gained spikes in the format. Which is something I was really excited to use until we'll
Also,
see.
it beats Melodic 1v1.
Yeah. Well, the next Pokemon I drafted was Empoleon.
The Pokemon well known for
Final
its
battle.
direct synergy. in cancer teams with the Gliscor.
So, this Pokemon has Roost now. Finally,
It also has Liquidation.
Yeah, but
It's
most
finally got a
importantly,
good water stat.
it has Roost. And finally,
Liquidation's
this
also very
bird has Roost. This guy has deserved Roost since Gen 4. Don't at me. You know, it can't fly. Neither can Dodrio, technically. Oh!
Dodrio doesn't have Roost.
Yes, it does.
I feel like I would have run that. I used to
I'm
run Dodrio with Ultra.
I will challenge
I'm
you
checking
on this.
right
It
now.
has Roost.
It says illegal and it's got no roots showing up.
Go to Gen 7, sir. Dunsparce also has Roost. Cypher
Yeah, Dunsparce
can't learn to
can
move
Roost.
Fly. It also has Roost. There is no reason why Empoleon shouldn't have had Roost until now, but it finally does.
It's not a flying type.
It finally... No, neither's Dunsparce!
That's not true. We all know that Dunsparce evolves into.
No, neither's Sizzle! And granted, it evolves from one, but still. Yeah,
Sizzle
so
does
no...
not, like, there are
Finally...
other flying types that don't have Roost, like, Galarian Zapdos, Galarian Moltres, Galarian Articuno,
Yeah, that's because Game Freak hates them.
Celesteela, Tornadus,
Anyway,
Thundurus. Yeah, sorry, you're telling me Game Freak hates Thundurus and
Yes.
Tornadus?
anyway,
like most broken
Empoleon
Shaman?
finally has Roost, which is really good, and I
Minion?
think it's going to form a pretty good defensive core with Gliscor because, you know,
Gyarados.
it quad resists ice and it resists water, and then,
Driftwood.
you know, Gliscor is immune to electricity and is also immune to ground, and it resists fighting. So they cover each other's weaknesses very well. You know, and it's not like either of them are that passive. Like Empoleon's not a particularly it's not an offensive powerhouse, but still got like base 114 special attack or something. Then Gliscor just has like Sword Stance, that sort of thing. Okay, 111. So, you know,
Gliscor's got
that's
a
pretty
bit
good.
toxic with Poison Heal, and it's like base 95
Yeah.
attack. It's got Stab Earthquake, which is a strong move, and then you tend to pair it with Facade,
So, you know, pretty cool.
which is also strong.
Pretty strong.
Because it doesn't have the Wing Beat, unlike the season of SBT where you drafted it first overall,
Well, you know, shush.
which fans will know we're back in
Yeah, true
what,
fans.
2020?
Oh,
I think
fuck,
that
that's
you drafted
depressing.
that
Yeah, probably.
late 2020 because I was around when you played some games in up north.
Anyway, the next...
Yeah,
no, I think that's a pretty good pair. Gives me 2 Rockers, 2 Defoggers, that's pretty cool.
And Gliscor has U-Turn, which
yeah.
is synergistic with Dragapult, which was the
Yeah.
thing that I said is that you want pivots with Dragapult, and
Yep.
you want stuff that's able to get stuff status and not. Which
Yes.
both Gliscor and Empoleon are decent
Yeah.
knockers. And Empoleon's a really decent Toxica, it's a very good Scald user,
Yeah.
and Gliscor is a competent Toxic user, though it does often have full move slot syndrome.
And speaking of pivots, we go to... so at this point, I kind of didn't know what I was going to do at this point in the draft, like, at all. By the time I
So
was getting up to
basically, there was this point where Keith's like, oh, okay, we need to discuss different options. So we brought out like 5 different teams, and then Keith completely forgot all of the options that we talked about,
and fell asleep.
and had already left these, completely forgotten he'd left these, and forgotten to unleave these 2 options. So now we have a Cinderace.
Yeah, well, it's not like I'm going to complain that much about Cinderace. Also, like, the best
I don't
option
like
we
it.
had was, like, sniped out of us having it.
That was on one of the 5 teams, and it wasn't the team that I liked the most, or the one that you liked the most. It was the team you liked the second most, and I liked the third most.
Well, the Mamoswine one.
The Mamoswine team was Mamoswine's knife.
Yes.
Oh, well, that was the team that you didn't even like at all.
Anyway, yeah, we got Cinderace. It's a pretty good Pokemon. It's a pivot. It's fast. It's strong. It's got, you know, Pyro Ball and Flare Blitz. It's got, you know, good coverage moves.
U-turn.
It's got U-turn. It's got
Jump
Taunt.
shot. It doesn't actually have amazing coverage moves, but it's got decent ones.
It's
It's
got
got
a-
high base power ones,
Yeah,
rather than synergistic ones.
yeah, and it's got Taunt and, like, Super Bang and
Well, I guess it
all
has
sorts of
Electro
bullshit.
Ball, but like that move's not very good.
It's just got a lot of bullshit. It's pretty cool. It's a cool Pokemon. I like
It
it.
just struggles to break opposing fires because it's relying on Scorching Sands, since it doesn't have Libero in this format.
Yeah. I mean,
it struggles to break opposing fires, and it doesn't really break opposing waters.
I'm not that worried about
You can like
opposing
Super
fires.
Bang, and then Taunt, and then U-turn out, and
Yeah.
hope that it didn't get hit by said water, I guess.
Well, I'm not that worried about opposing fires with this team currently. But
I am currently worried about opposing waters more so.
Yeah. Look, it is what it is. It's a fine Pokemon. I like using it a lot.
Team also doesn't like Moltres very much.
We'll get to what this team is bad into later.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at the entire team. By the way, he then forgot to talk to me about any of the picks, and then just kind of picked some of the random mons we previously discussed, and then some other.
I was out in Dysart, and let me tell you about Dysart, everyone.
Are we gonna get the same review of Dysart that you gave me?
Probably
word for word.
So, in a horror film, you've got.
Okay, so basically, Keith is of the opinion that the second that something is not literally on the coast, unless you have a beachfront property, you live in the center of the state.
Now, anyway,
even if it is 2 meters dry.
Sir, please let me do my review of Dysart. Okay.
I'm when those horror scroll up to make sure that you're getting the same word for word.
In those horror films where protagonists will go up to this small little rural town, and it's not quite right. There's fog everywhere. Something in the atmosphere seems off. All the people kind of look a little weird, look a little strange. They glare at you. They know you're an outsider just looking at you.
Strange. When you're a stranger.
And then secretly you find out that there's some evil dark cult running the thing, and they're creating
so
mutant
just
fish
in case
people.
You can't tell.
That's what Dysart is.
An incredibly sheltered person. All small towns are like that.
That's what Dysart is.
The reason that places, that authors like H.P. Lovecraft made that have cults is because it gave an explanation besides you just not being wanted there for why you weren't wanted there. But it turns out that actually they just didn't like seeing people. Can you not ruin
my story, please? Now that's what Dysart is, except you replace the fog with the Australian sun beating down on you, and you replace the interesting...
It wasn't even that warm!
It was 30, it was 38 degrees
or
something.
30 degrees?
I said 38, you
I know that you live in
wanker.
The monsoon of Mackay, but it should hit at least 50 before you're pretending that it's warm.
I said 38 degrees, you wanker.
Not even hidden 50. Not even hidden 50.
Anyway... But replace the, interesting cult with just a really standard drug trade, and that's Dysart. The entire way there, all you see is mines, the Australian bush full of pointy and bitey that looks so dry it's about to explode even though it's been raining the entire time, and then sad-looking cows. And it's fucking depressing. So that's the environment I was in when I was drafting this stuff. I was with a guy from Pakistan, and we stood out like sore thumbs because, it was very obvious we weren't from Dysart, and that was kind of funny. But anyway, while I was there, this is what I was drafting. The next Pokemon I picked was Mesprit, and
Alright, just so you know, he's keeping a lot of the juicy bits.
Yeah, I'm not telling that fucking... It's not
that's why
the tone of this evening.
That was why I asked. And then you're like, yes.
No. That's not for the tone of this evening. I'm not telling that story. Anyway, Mesprit, Legend Pokemon's Legend Arceus Wild Battle, because that theme is a jam. It's a banger.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Mesprit is a pivot. It's got U-turn. It's got rocks. It's got T-Wave and stuff like that.
Wish.
It's got Healing Wish, but also it's got Recover. That's a move Pokemon Legends Arceus blessed it with. So it's pretty damn cool now. I mean, it was already pretty okay, but I think this improves it a fair bit.
This team's stock matchup. It's just so good.
Don't worry, it'll get better.
Technically, yes.
Significantly better. I don't know.
I'm just looking at one of the Pokemon I mentioned earlier. Their matchup into you. And gosh, it would be very intimidating for you to show.
Which one?
Moltres Galar.
Moltres Galar. What? That's, Kyle's not in this div. It's fine. I'm sleeping.
Kyle's not in this div. I mean, but you're telling me that no one's... Okay, it's not drafted. Luckily, we're fine.
As I said, Kyle isn't in this div. It's fine. I'm sleeping.
I've dropped them before.
My next, by this point, I was about to leave Dysart for my next 2 picks, so I was in a slightly better state of mind, a slightly better opinion. I'm like, oh yes,
Miranda was.
Morimba. Oh, huge improvement. That's a KFC in Morimba.
That is a big improvement.
That is a huge improvement. And then at this point, yes, I went Mega Heracross. Mostly, I had a couple of pivots. I'm like, you know what? I need a breaker. A big fuck you breaker. And I need a Mega. And I was thinking at first it was going to be Mega Gyarados.
Even
because
though
I like double water.
multiple times that Static V1.
You didn't.
No, I mentioned it offhand once and
Yeah.
you didn't really pay attention. Because we were talking about it. I'm like, I really think that you should study what's it.
Well, yeah, anyway.
And then you forgot.
So then with it, so it's like, okay, well with it gone, the only real Mega choice that I had left was Mega Heracross, which is fine because it's a very strong breaker.
Just gonna look at the dock and see.
I've got a lot of pivots.
Okay, so Mega Beedrill is still there.
Smells. Yeah, I don't want Mega Beat.
I mean, it's a good breaker. Mega Absol's still there. Mega Houndoom is still there.
Oh yeah, Mega Houndoom. That's. I don't want double fire types, sir.
Okay, so you're just like, oh, I want to break it. Mega Aggron's still around. Mega Pinsir. Mega Kangaskhan. I feel like you're overstating the amount to which you were deprived of choice. You definitely had choice, and you chose.
I felt like Mega
Did you not stick
Heracross
behind Heracross?
was
like,
the
if it was the choice you made, argue for it as the choice.
Well, I think Mega Heracross was definitely the best choice because I wanted a really good breaker. This is a really good breaker. It's a second spiker, but also just I think it's got a lot of synergy with my team because there's a lot of pivots, so I can pivot. Like, let's say for example, I got the Mesprit out, they switch into Dark, I U-turn into Mega Heracross, and they're in a lot of trouble. It's got I just feel like it really, really, really fucks up a lot of Pokemon. It doesn't help my matchup into Flying. Gonna talk about that later. Fairy, it's fine. I'm gonna find. I don't know. I'm not that worried about Fairy.
I think you should maybe be a little bit more worried about Fairy than you are.
And also, Fairy isn't good. Fairy still a lot of fairies. I don't know.
Fairies are either the best or worst ones that are out there.
Yeah, and
problem is there are a lot of really good ones.
Well, a lot of fairies have secondary types that make them neutral to a lot of Mega. Yeah, that does. Yeah, Mega Lele totally switches into Mega Heracross.
Oh yeah, because they're not going to have a different pin missile switching.
No, they won't. No, Mega Heracross, it's just a pretty good Pokemon, and I like it.
I mean, if they slow U-turn on your Mesprit, if they U-turn or teleport out on the Mesprit, you're bringing Heracross in. Heracross is probably going to be threatened by a bunch of Pokemon that you don't switch in well enough to, I think. I think the problem with this team is Cinderace. It's a lot of points.
I disagree completely.
You disagree? It didn't cost a lot of points.
It cost look. It cost one more point that I'm willing to pay than I would be the happiest to pay for it with. But I don't care. 13 points is fantastic for Cinderace. 14 points maybe a bit too much. Whatever.
I wouldn't pay.
It's 1 point.
I don't love Cinderace.
I love Cinderace a lot. I feel like you're being a bit too caught up in your Cinderace hate. Anyway, I will say, Fire type, I have a Water type that is neutral into Fire. That's pretty bad, meaning I need to compensate with a Fire resist from somewhere else. Meaning my normal was Miltank.
It wasn't Hariyama.
No. I said normal.
Yeah, I know.
I think
your normal type spell.
I think, I think it helps my matchup to Fires a lot, because before then it was looking pretty dicey, but Miltank's a pretty good sort of check to a lot of Fire types. It's it's a pretty decent go switch into because it's got Scrappy.
Scrappy and Thick Fat.
Yes, it's got you pick the matchup, So against Spectria, I'm probably bringing Scrappy. Against I don't know what's a Fire type.
Rillaboom, you're gonna run Sapsipper.
Yeah, against Volcarona, I'm gonna run Thick Fat.
Thick Fat, Guide of Bug Buzz. Phenomenal plan.
Thick Fat. That probably takes a Bug Buzz. And then, that'll be it. And it's another rocker. I think that's my fourth?
Fifth?
Fourth?
1, 2, 3, fourth. Sorry.
Fourth? Yeah, it's my fourth at this point.
Sorry, it's your fifth Hazard setter, but Heracross takes Spikes. Technically, Cinderace is a rocker.
Yeah, no, it is, because it's got Court Change. I don't know, and then, this hard counter Spectria with a Scrappy Facade. look
I
out.
don't know if that's a hard counter, but okay.
It burns it.
This checks Spectria.
It's hard counters it with Scrappy Facade.
I don't know that we were specifically burning for a Spectria check when we have a Dragapult.
So yeah, good Spectria check.
Spectria is just so important. Having a check to like one mon. I'm going to check right now if it is Dragapult playing at week 1. That's why you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you so obsessed with Spectria checks? I'm like, oh yeah, you're playing at week 1.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Miltank's a pretty cool Pokemon.
Yeah,
just in general.
Miltank, Mega Heracross. Everyone's favourite combination of Pokemon to get next to each other.
It's a very strong core because then you've got the 2 sexy Gen 2 Pokemon, you know? All I'm saying is...
if there aren't more.
No, I'm just saying in my Smash or in the Smash or Pass that's coming out soon because, you know, I'm nothing if not a leech of other people's success and ideas.
Sorry, is it actually?
No.
Oh.
But
I mean,
when it does come out...
I would believe it. I believe it.
Because then I'd have to actually make content, and I don't want to do that. But, you know, when that does come out, we'll have both Miltank and Heracross, and then it'll be, you know... and that'll be my main thing in Gen 2. Yeah, I'm just saying, very hot.
You don't like that back sprite from Feraligatr?
I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be looking at the official Ken Sugimori art because, unfortunately, you know,
collapse.
Not everything's in Gen 2, so I think that's giving it
Gen 2. Sorry, Feraligatr back sprite clapped up.
Anyway, my next pick, I think I made my next pick while I was listening to my co-worker annoy a scam artist that, like, a telemarketer that tried to call them. That was pretty funny. And so I didn't have that many points left, but judging from what I needed, I think some sort of grass or electric type, a grounded poison, a dark, and a fairy, and I preferably wanted one of those to be a pretty good special attacker. So eventually I settled on... I was thinking Toxtricity for a little bit, but eventually I settled on Roserade. And Roserade's my third spiker, you know, triple spikes, Pog. And it's a grounded poison. That's pretty strong.
Toxtricity had gone 3 rounds before you were making this decision. We went before you picked Miltank and Heracross.
Well, there you go. I hadn't checked the doc. Because
I remember talking about it to Stanny B.
Yeah, that's right, your true friend. You know, the one you act.
You can tell that he's the real friend of me because he actually drafted Duskrock when I told him to. Unlike a fake friend in this call.
Yeah, well,
didn't draft Duskrock when I told them to.
I could have, but then he drafted it. You know, you're also the one who's like, oh, by the way, he's thinking of Mega. He's thinking of Mega Gyarados. You should 100% take Mega Gyarados. You're out to get me. You were messaging all of the people in the draft and going, hey,
messaging, yeah.
Keith wants
I've
this.
got like this one message from. I did actually receive a message from Catcher-In after the draft started. Let's see if I messaged anyone else.
Yeah, Stanny.
No, but I mean besides that.
You gave all of the state secrets.
Person. It's been a long while since I've last messaged Feeny.
You gave away all of the state. You gave away all the state secrets.
And last time I messaged TCK, it got me put on a list. And now the Australian government's watching me.
Well,
so,
you know, as it should. Yeah. Well, as it should. Everyone should watch your YouTube channel.
That's true.
Roserade Battle Tower boss, specifically the Gen 8 Battle Tower boss. Yeah. I picked it because it's a pretty cool song, and yeah, Roserade's a pretty cool Pokemon.
It's because he likes Undertale.
You know, Saiyans. You know,
Saiyans' Ness.
It is the greatest.
Die-hard Matt Pat fan. Sheath Gelden.
Who? Oh wait, yep, I got that guy.
Yeah, that guy. the one that you have the mural of. That Camus is probably currently being on.
Look, just because it was made, just because, you know, it was made out of newspaper clippings, you know.
Yes.
I just
the
found
only newspaper that had an image of Matt Patton?
No. I just went through newspapers and then like found people that had similar looking features to them, and then glued them together to make an approximation. And then the next Pokemon I picked.
For context, Katniss is one of Keith's cats.
And then
not like the fictional character.
I just have a bunch of fictional characters from books slash
YA
like early 2010s film series.
No, it's not just early 2010s. You got the fat kid from Lord of the Flies as well. I can't remember their name.
Edward Cullen's just hanging around, looking at.
That's not a dystopian YA. Piggy. Is his name actually Piggy?
What else?
His name's actually Piggy. That's very sad.
Anyway,
they call him Piggy.
I needed a fairy, and I didn't have that many points, so I just went with my go-to pick for a cheap fairy. That's Aromatisse. With Mirabee's Retro Groove, a song not many people know of. I know when I mentioned it to Electric, he's like, "What? What is Mirabee?"
Yeah. Definitely never had every single time we went to the Pokemon Club that we were both a part of. They definitely didn't play Mirabee like 8 times every time because I was the person deciding the playlist. Some of the times.
Aromatisse. I like it for a cheap fairy. Like if you want a cheap fairy, I think it's probably the best one.
Trick Room.
It's got Trick Room. It's got
for
Wish.
Your Dragapult.
It's got OK Spatak.
Your incredible Trick Room abuser of
Aromatisse.
Mesprit. Oh yeah, I mean sure, it's actually good at using it. It's got 29 base speed, which means that it's slower than a lot of the base 30s that tend to dominate Trick Room, including Anti-Trick Room.
And
and it's got both Blast and Thunderbolt. So just in case you were wondering if can it hit steals, well, it can hit it if it's Empoleon. But
exactly. Well, hey, you can Corviknight. Thank you very much. Corviknight. Thank you very much.
It's not going to break Corv. Stop going.
Never.
Pretty sure it's also like immune to taunt.
Yes.
Pretty sure that's what Aroma Veil does.
Yes, it is, and that's okay.
It and its allies are immune to Attract, Disable, Encore, Heal Block, Taunt, and Torment.
Oh boy, no one can attract me.
Now you're going to beat that sub Torment Tran. You definitely break him.
No, not anymore. It's got Ember now.
That's true.
True.
I mean, I don't know if it can fit Ember.
I think it has to with that much
Torment Ember.
I think it has to. And then my last Pokemon, I just needed a Dark type, and so I just went with Persian Alola because why not? And it's my one Gen 7, representation. Oh yeah, but it, existed in Gen 7, and I'm fairly sure Team Skull used it occasionally.
I have no idea if they did or not.
I don't remember.
It's like Dex number, 52, 53? I think 52 is Meowth, 53 is Persian.
Something like that. Another pivot, basically. It can do some foul play stuff. It's
you don't have a Gen 3 Mon.
I don't have a Gen 5 Mon either.
That's true.
And, I had to purposely, not make all of these songs Gen 5, because I wanted to make all of these songs Gen 5. I really could have.
You have no Gen 5 Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. If
you made the Gen 6 Pokemon, the Pokemon Coliseum.
Yeah.
Funny.
Wait. Yeah, I mean, what Gen 6 songs are good? There's probably a fair few, but shush.
Lysander has, I really like the Team Flare music. The music in Gen 6 is phenomenal. Gen 5 onwards, the games just all have banger music.
Oh, you got a problem with Gen 3 music, do you? No,
I think that Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4 have less good music than 5, 6, 7, and 8. I think Gen 1 obviously is probably some of the best music you can get with the fact that it was significantly more limited in what it could actually do. But Gen 2, 3, and 4 don't really have that.
Okay, now we've got a cute little picture with all of the Pokemon on the screen. So, I'm going to talk about this team. It's not a perfect team, obviously, it's got a few flaws. One of them is I do think it's a little bit suspect into some strong flying types with coverage.
Fairies, fly.
I disagree with it. I don't think it's that bad into Darks. I think it's a bit... Flying types are... I'm actually terrified of the Taunty matchup, but Taunty is fantastic. I've got 3.
3, that's true. So it's Aromatisse, Heracross, and Persian. of which both Potion and Heracross are weak to Dazzling Beam. So then they would just need the coverage move for Roserade. I don't know if the recording is currently paused on account of Keith going, but I will now put in like some of my various thoughts on this team. I think this team is overly reliant on Dragapult and Heracross as breakers. I think it doesn't really have a great sweeping option. Like, the setup options, you have like a Trick Room plus last supply of Roserade, which is okay, but it struggles into opposing steel, so this team is pretty good with opposing steel. It has Dragapult, which is very good at cleaning, and it has some decent sweeping sets, but it's going to be the Pokemon a lot of opposing teams are prepping for.
Where was I?
Mega Heracross. No, I'm talking. I'm in the middle of a monologue to the thing. So Mega Heracross is a very powerful breaker. It will often potentially enable that Dragapult clean, but I'm not sure if it is really just going to be able to get into a winning position. And bulk up Cinderace is nice, but incredibly matchup specific because Cinderace often really likes getting the full usage of its moveset out. So I really think that you're struggling to get a sweep off with any of these Pokemon besides Dragapult, or in a very, very favourable matchup, potentially the Roserade.
You can get I think with Recover, I think Calm Mind Mesprit's a fair bit better, and I think there's also like, you can just kind of do Swords Dance Gliscor once you remove.
Is Calm Mind Mesprit better than, like, with Recover better than Restore? Because you're just making it so that you lose to Toxic, right?
Yeah, but Toxic's not good into this team. Not that great into this team. Like,
yeah, or Wisp even. No, Toxic, specifically just Toxic.
Yeah, because Wisp is fine. It's only 6%.
Yeah, I mean Mesprit doesn't have the absolute best in terms of physical bulk. Regular Poison also could be.
No, isn't it like 80, 105, 105?
I believe so. It's like 105 in most of its stats, right? Yeah. So
yeah, and then there's always I think the more realistic one is there's always like Swords Dance Gliscor, which you can run here. I think with 2 other Spikers, like 3 other Rockers, another Defogger, and then also Court Change.
So some of my concern would be that Mesprit is your only real Scarf option. Like, theoretically Cinderace and Bolt can, but you don't really want to be running into matchups there. And you can with Roserade, but it often hates running the Scarf set because it tends to have great coverage. So I feel like that really limits Mesprit's utility.
Look, it definitely isn't a perfect team, but I think it's okay. I think it's a team that I'm going to like. I'm really going to enjoy using Empoleon.
Forecast this league not being covered for particularly long, because I actually think this is going to be a team that you're fairly frustrated with using.
Okay, I'll fight you.
We'll
see. That's it. That's it. We're doing this entire season.
I feel like you probably could have taken advantage of the Grace Period. Do they think they have one? I don't know. If they did, you probably should have taken advantage of it.
I didn't want to. Also, I showed you this team, and then you're like, yeah, whatever. I was like, yeah, whatever. I like it. I
would have dropped. I don't even remember seeing this team before seeing it on the slides.
You definitely did.
So I
don't you
would
gaslight me.
Drop the like Mesprit Cinderace stuff. I think that you can keep Heracross.
I wouldn't.
Like, I think it's actually quite solid with like the first 3.
And look at his face.
I try to click on the Empoleon, but it's struggling.
Look at its little face.
Heracross is
yeah. I like it. It's cute.
I don't know. I feel like like a Roserade is like fine as a cheat mon. I feel like this team only really has offense in Cinderace, Heracross, and Gliscor, and Dragapult, which means that you want to run SD Gliscor more than the bulkier variants, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, you can still run like bulky SD if you, but like I don't know.
Like bulky SD means that you're probably not going to be able to fit Toxic. It means you may not be able to fit Rocks or Defog. If the matchup refers, it may not be able to fit Taunt. There's a lot of options that
I guess
lose out on.
And I don't think like this team's what I'd call passive.
No, I think this team is just. I think it's got some Pokemon that are very offensive, and then a lot of Pokemon that are
defensive,
that are capable of running offense, but generally rely on like moves that they don't necessarily have. Like a lot of full Mooselet syndrome sort of mobs, especially in this comp.
We'll see. I think I'm gonna predict I'm going undefeated.
Alright, I'm gonna make my bold prediction. Yeah. I don't think you're going undefeated.
I'm gonna be like
I've seen your schedule. And
I mean, you've seen my round 1 game, which, okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at your schedule right now.
Oh, there's a schedule? Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I predict that you are going to go 4-4 if you make transactions, and 2-6 if you don't.
Okay, well, you're a hater, so... And you're bad, and you've fallen off, and L plus cope plus ratio. I'm gonna do the opposite. If I make transactions, it'll be 4-4. If I don't, it'll be 6-2. Done. Thank you all.
Right. Well, we'll see where you get to. So that means you're committing right here to not making transactions.
Yeah, exactly. Done.
Okay.
You've.
I will do my best to hold Keith accountable.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Why not?
Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been
goodbye.
Your annual video from Keith.
Yeah. See you again in 2023.
Follow us for 2023. Yeah.